Welcome to episode 21 of the DigitalituM podcast at the intersection of manufacturing and digital transformation. I'd like to thank our supporter of this podcast episode, Messe Frankfurt with SPS Atlanta. Are you driving change in manufacturing or automation? Then SPS Atlanta 2025 is where you belong. Join us September 16 to 18 at the Georgia World Congress Center, right next to Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, and be part of a growing movement driving the future of smart manufacturing. From digital transformation to plant floor innovation, SPS Atlanta is built for leaders like you. From designing systems, running operations, or building what's next. Step into the spotlight at SPS Atlanta 2025. Learn more and register at www.spsamericas.com. Welcome to the DigitalituM podcast. Our guest today is Karen Escobedo. Welcome.
Thank you, Marcus. I'm excited to be here.
I'm glad, and let's dive right into it. Tell us a little bit about yourself. I read that you have actually a background in accounting and you just did your MBA. How did you get into this and how did you get into what you're doing now? Tell us about it.
Yeah, so my background is definitely not the typical career path you'll see in manufacturing. Tri-Sphyre started in 2022, and that's when I was still at the University of Georgia doing my accounting degree. And so in the fall semester of 2022, I joined Tri-Sphyre as an intern. I was doing the basic bookkeeping and then simple vendor outreach. And then in 2023, I think is when my career, specifically in manufacturing, started to really take off. Gilberto gave me the chance to go visit a customer site with him. And to me, it was like the first day of school, right? I had never been on a customer site before. I knew a little bit about what we were doing the purchasing, seeing a little bit about the projects, but going to the customer site, I think, was the coolest experience at that time for me. I got to see how things go at the beginning of production. And that's when I started to learn more, get more involved with Tri-Sphyre, do more of the business side. And that really just set my career path in a different direction. I still love accounting. It's a challenge for me, but I love the challenge of learning more technical things, being able to talk to our customers. And I still feel that sense of first day of school excitement when I go to a customer site. I'm able to talk with them, see how we can help them. And the excitement, I think, also really comes from our customers seeing the value we bring, seeing how quickly our team can help solve issues after they've been down for a while. And it was definitely not the typical path you see. I didn't come from a technical background. I come from accounting, the business side, but it's being able to see everything in person is what changed my career path. And I'm grateful that Gilberto gave me the chance to go. And now, again, every time I go visit a customer, I'm excited to see what they do and how we can help.
That's a great story. Tell us a little bit what type of factory or manufacturing place was this first place you visit without maybe going into details and naming the site?
Yeah. So it was a company here in Georgia that they do manufacturing for automobile parts. Mm-hmm. Like the roof rails and everything. And it was really cool seeing the testing that was going on, seeing the equipment move from the beginning of a line all to the end and how Gilberto could manipulate the data being connected to the program. And it was all new experience for me. I had never seen that before. So it was really cool. It changed, I think, my career at that time.
Yeah, seeing a factory from the inside and see how everything moves around, the machines, the robotics, the movements, that is quite fascinating. And
yes,
I have been more or less my entire career in this field, and I'm still fascinating seeing a new factory and seeing the fuss and bluff there.
Mm-hmm.
What is Tri-Sphyre actually doing, and in what specific field are you guys helping clients?
Yeah, so Tri-Sphyre, we focus on system integration, on improving, operations for industrial clients. We do the design, programming, and integrating automation solutions for PLCs, HMIs, and drive controls to just really help the plant and equipment run more efficiently. Our team also helps provide engineering, commissioning, and remote support services, which is an area that we're kind of looking more into that we think is providing a lot of value to our customers. And as far as industries right now, we're in the steel, manufacturing, energy, and then we're pretty heavily focused on the dredging industry as well. And that's where we're focusing on helping automate dredge operations, enhance safety, and provide technical support through the various products that we have right now.
For listeners which are not familiar with the dredging industry, could you explain that further? What do they do there? What's the
Yeah, so
process?
Yeah, so for the dredges that I have gone to, they're sitting on a lake, but they also can sit, in the ocean, and they're really big. It depends what specific dredge you're on, but they excavate material from the ground, whether that be gravel, sand, and that's used in other parts of the process later on.
So it's actually kind of like a ship swimming and has a big digger to get the stuff from the
Yeah,
ground. And
exactly.
what are you guys particular doing there?
Yeah, so right now, we're very involved again in that aspect. We have a lot of products that are specific to the dredging industry.
Hmm.
So we are rolling out right now our Dredge Academy simulator, which is helping operators train in a safer, realistic environment. And the value that it also provides, apart from being safer, is that it's reducing the onboarding costs, training costs. And when you're onboarding someone on a piece of equipment that's so pricey, things can break, right? So the
Hmm.
benefit to them is that if you break something, it's online. There's no real damage done. And then we also have our HMI control systems that we have in place, the Dredge IQ platform, which is process controls. It's making it more safe, more precise, and it's helping reduce downtime.
Wow, that sounds very interesting. Tell us a little bit more about that academy and how the this training is actually done. Is that kind of like a digital twin of a dredger where you can simulate the whole thing? How is it visualized? Is it just on a screen, on an iPad, or is it even happening in virtual reality? Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yes. So right now we have the demo set up in our office. So we have 5 monitor screens in the front, so you can have, the view of the dredge. And then you have 2 screens on the desk in front of you, which is where you have your HMI program and you're looking at the controls and everything of the dredge. And then instead of having the physical hardware right now, we are working with iPads where you're able to move the joysticks and the buttons and see how the dredge is operating. And then in the future, we're going to move away from those iPads to have the physical controls. And I think that the physical controls is really going to help customers train their operators in a realistic environment. They know what the controls are, how hard to move them and whatnot. And then it's fully customizable to the plant operations. It's not a one dredge fits all, right? It's customizable to that company, and it has built-in scenarios as well where if they think their operators are lacking a specific safety issues, we build that in, and then the management can get their reports on how long they're training, if they bypassed any key things that they need to be aware of. And I think it's been really well, the development so far.
And so it's really a physical unit with a bunch of screens. Right now the control with iPads, but in the future you really want to have the mechanical handles and switches. And so this person is kind of like in the cockpit of that dredger and gets the full simulation. So
Yes.
kind of similar as I just imagine in my head, like a airplane simulator, kind of like the same feeling.
Yes, that's right. That's what we're working on right now. And there had been talks at one point of doing this, online. It might be easier, more accessible, but I think it's better for the end user to have the physical system, right? You wouldn't want to have your airplane pilot training just online. You want them to be familiar with the whole setup of everything. So that's what we have right now in the office, and it's looking really great.
Yeah, you want the haptics and the hand movements and also the feedback feeling of it.
That's right.
And so that's one kind of product you do. And then on the other hand, you also develop custom GMI solutions for these dredges.
That's correct. We have the Dredge IQ platform, and that's just, again, it provides more, I guess, reporting than what's typically available in the market. And then it all has built-in messaging systems where if they need parts, maintenance, or anything, they either put in their contact, whether that be our team or their own team at their plant, and they get a quick message, hey, we ran out of this part and we need it urgently, or we're experiencing downtime, can we please get someone, whether that be the Tri-Sphyre team, to come help us out urgently, or even remote in, which is beneficial to our customers, right? Sometimes we can fix the issue remotely, and that's the great thing about our platform. It integrates with our team, and we're able to remote in rather than just fly out if that's the case. And the reports are also great because you can do the process rewind, where it allows you to go back in time and see exactly what the operators did. And if something broke, you can see what was the cause of that and prevent it in the future.
So it's kind of like a black box function. So you see what went wrong, and so you can evaluate of what are problems and stuff like that. I
Yes.
really like that connectivity you put into there and have more or less preventive, predictive maintenance, IoT functionality, remote support, all put in that, as typically in this special applications, they still run kind of like offline, and it's a pure visualization at that location. And if you need support, it's always complicated, as I assume that the stretchers are not operated in downtown Atlanta with great G network and connectivity. They're somewhere out in the woods, right?
Right, right. And that's, I think, where we come into play. We're able to help with that connectivity and make it more efficient for the support. As you know, downtime is costly, and not to mention emergency support is even costlier. So having that remote connectivity built in with our equipment, it speeds up the support, and sometimes it can even eliminate that emergency trip out there.
And other than in the dredging industry, you also do PLC and drives technology. Do you have some other products in your portfolio in that area too?
Yeah, so we have the TS ProFlow, which is helping automate pumping operations and make the flow control more consistent and energy efficient. And we also have the Grad Max, which is more for bulk material handling to give better control and reduce equipment wear.
And in what industries is this used? Kind of like in wastewater, or tell us a few applications of this product.
Yeah, that one's more for the wastewater industry, water and wastewater industry, and as well as the dredging industry, as it can be used in a little bit of both.
Very cool. So you have actually quite a wide portfolio of things. Have we missed any product you have other than the dredgers and the pump controllers?
Nope, that's it for right now for the products that we have developed.
Okay, so that's the two areas you guys focus on. That's great.
Yes.
In terms of manpower, what type of people are working at Tri-Sphyre? So more engineers, controls engineers, mechanical engineers. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we have 2 senior control engineers that are based out of Atlanta as well. We have a field service engineer, and then we have partnerships where we have 2 engineers. One does the electrical design for us, and then another who's doing the software development. And we've all been able to really integrate well and work with each other to get these products out and rolling. And I think our team is very smart, very capable, and it's great when I go to site and I hear the positive feedback from our customers that they're able to solve the issues quickly. We're able to get any of their support resolved. So our team is very capable and very smart.
And in terms of geography, are you guys focusing on more, as you guys are Atlanta based like us, more of Georgia and surrounding states, everything in kind of drivable distance, or you do more or less the entire US or even North America?
Yeah, so I think we have a lot of customers primarily in the Southeast and then in Texas. However, we have customers, here and there around the states. We don't really try to just focus on one state or one region. If a customer calls and they need help and they're in Washington, we'll fly out to Washington. Wherever that is, we're there for them.
Good. That's the whole customer service approach.
Yes.
You guys are at the SPS Atlanta, the Smart Production Solutions trade show happening September 16 to 18 at the Georgia World Congress Center. What led you book a booth there, and what is your expectation from that show?
Yeah, so we actually became Emitron US partners a year ago, and we decided this would be a great time to highlight these drives. So we have a cabinet on display, and the audience there is our target audience for these drives, right? We're going to be able to show them how low maintenance these drives are, they're easy to use, and they directly help reduce downtime and lower operating costs. So this was definitely a driving force in going to SPS Atlanta. And then it's also our first trade show that we ourselves are participating in. So it's going to give us a chance to really put our name out there, show what we're capable of. We're going to have our dredge simulator on display, and I think it's going to give us the chance to show people our capability. We started developing this in early February, and we've made an incredible amount of progress. And we can also, people, although this is for the dredging industry, we're open and we're capable to provide simulators for any industry.
So that sounds really interesting. Especially I look forward to see that dredge simulator and try that out.
Yes, we're excited to have people see and get any feedback as well if they think something could be implemented as well.
Yeah. Any hopes for this particular show, as this is the first one of this SPS series in Atlanta? The SPS show itself, originally from Germany, happening every fall in Nuremberg, there is very successful. I would say it's the trade show for industrial automation, production, manufacturing there. And they're coming now first time to the US. What are your specific expectations there?
So I think it's going to go really well, and we're excited to see everyone who attends and who's at a booth themselves. I think it's a lot of collaboration and opportunities to see what your peers are doing in an industry, what you can do better. And we haven't had the chance to go to the one in Germany, so I think this is going to be a really cool experience and see how it all comes together, and hopefully do it again next year.
That's what we hope too. And we at DigitalituM are there as well. I think we are even very close to each other on the trade show floor. So you can visit Tri-Sphyre and DigitalituM almost side by side.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Very cool. Switching topics a little bit. As a woman in manufacturing, there are some challenges. Do you have a unique perspective, and what do you want to bring in your role at Tri-Sphyre for that?
Yeah, so I think my unique perspective, at least in my role, is that, I don't come from a technical background, but I'm still able to communicate effectively with the customers. Again, our engineers are very smart, but they go sometimes a little bit too technical with our customers to the point where they get lost. So I think I'm able to bring in that gap. I'm able to bridge that gap and really communicate efficiently to the customers and see how we can help them. And again, I think as a company, we have a people first perspective. We want to help them not just sell things that they don't need. So we're very involved with them, seeing how we can help them and reach their goals.
Great. And on the flip side, what do you see as the challenges for you going into that field?
So again, it's a male-dominated industry, right? There's no getting around that. I think a challenge specifically that I have had is having CEOs who say they're not sexist turn around to me and say, you're a woman, you can't be in this field, you're not going to succeed. And although it is discouraging to me at times, I think it just fuels me more to prove them wrong and succeed. And I think I've been able to see that success now. Even I have customers who call me instead of my team first. If they need support with something, I'm the first one they call. And then I get everything coordinated from there and really meet their needs. And then again, I don't come from a technical background, but the challenge I have internally is sometimes, what if I don't know enough to communicate well with the customer? But I've learned over the time, the customer doesn't know what I don't know. As long as I communicate well and confidently, they'll trust me. And I think it's been working well for me. I show my confidence, and there hasn't been a time when the customer is like, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about," right? They see me being confident and they trust me, and I think it's a challenge. Of course, everyone deals with it, maybe being insecure or not confident in yourself, but I think I'm overcoming it. I'm doing well.
Great. I'm really confident that you see the opportunity there and bring your confidence and your growth into this. What could you tell other women to join this industries? What are the benefits of going a career path like you?
Yeah, so I think there's a lot you can gain from this industry. I've especially seen a lot more mentorship groups and leaders, women who are encouraging people to join and giving advice. And especially at trade shows, there's always a woman in manufacturing, a woman in whatever industry you may be in,
Hmm.
podcasts, the speakers there who are willing to help you and give you advice how to navigate the industry. So I think that's really inspiring for other women in the industry. You can connect, see what their hardships are, learn from any mistakes they may have, and especially attending panels that highlight women leaders, I think is great. And I completed my master's program, so I just moved back to Atlanta, and I'm excited to join all these women in manufacturing groups and just learn and connect with others who are in the same industry as me.
Yeah, that is definitely the right thing to do. Network and do networking in your industry, and also kind of other near close industries is always good, because on one side you get the connections, on the other side you learn always new things and never stop learning, because so many things are changing. If we just think about the influence of artificial intelligence on our life, like 2 years ago, did you know what ChatGPT is?
No,
And today, can you live a day without ChatGPT?
no, no. I use it for everything, but it's very helpful. It's a tool that if you know how to use it right, it's going to make your life easier, and even your work, it makes it easier.
And let's talk a few minutes about that. What are some use cases, applications, tasks where you enable the help of artificial intelligence?
So for my specific role, business development, I think what I use AI for is to help technical wise, right? Understand things at a basic level and then go a little bit more in depth to the point where it can help me create sort of like study flashcards or guide sheets that I can look back on and build up my technical knowledge. I think that's been great. Without it, I think I would still be learning, but it would definitely take more time. And then the great thing about it too is that it ties everything that I'm asking back to Tri-Sphyre and how I can use that knowledge I gained to be better.
Hmm.
And then I think it also helps us sometimes even for quoting projects, right? We give it what we're going to do, not in depth, but just the right amount of information. And it's very accurate on how it estimates how long a project should take for us. And it cuts back that time spent on our end of quoting projects, and it helps us get those quotes out quicker. And it's a great tool.
That was now mainly on ChatGPT and all what's possible in there. Have you tried out or worked with other AI tools on the market?
Yeah, so I have not, but our team uses Claude AI,
Hmm.
specifically our software developer. He uses that as it's a little bit more beneficial to him than ChatGPT or Gemini is. And he's given us positive feedback that it's definitely a tool to use and that it's worth spending that monthly amount. And I think
For what is that used particular? Can you tell us a little bit more? Is there more on the software code development or?
yeah, so he uses it a little bit more for that software code development. Sometimes debugging, he might run into some issues, so he needs to use that. And I think that's mostly the software side that he uses it for.
Have you guys used other AI tools more on the machine or dredger side to evaluate machine data and kind of get insights out of this for use cases like, for example, predictive maintenance?
Yeah, so we have not yet, but that's an area that we're going to expand into and we're looking into. I think it's definitely going to be very helpful, especially the preventative maintenance side, right? If you see something needs to be replaced soon, you know before you reach that point to replace it or whatever. And I think it's going to be very beneficial to the customers. It's going to help reduce downtime and costs and everything. So that's what we want to head towards. We're not there at this moment, but I think everyone in the industry wants to get to that point, right?
What is your personal view on AI, as there is this public discourse that on one side AI can take jobs away, on the other hand it also can be beneficial. Where do you stand on that?
Yeah, so I think I lean a little bit more on the sides of it's very beneficial, especially if you use it in the right way. I think, if you use it to learn more, maybe give you summary on what you're doing in work, it can help make your life easier by speeding up what you're doing, automating certain aspects of it. But then I think there's also that flip side, right? If you depend on it too much, you're not going to be learning and advancing. So it's about finding a balance using both. But I am on that side of that. AI is going to help us. It is helping us. And I see it in my everyday life, helping me be more efficient. So
And do you see people still not using or not familiar with these tools, specifically ChatGPT, at all? And what can be done that in general people adapting more and learning more about AI and the benefits out of it?
yeah, so I think there's still a lot of people who don't use AI, specifically ChatGPT. And I think that might just be they don't know how to use it or what it's for. And I think the easiest maybe approach to it might just be as seeing it as a Google, but it just gives you everything so you don't have to spend several hours researching, right? Like especially a simple thing like planning a trip, you can just tell ChatGPT, "Hey, I'm going to New York City during these dates. Can you give me an itinerary?" And that cuts down a lot of your time that you would spend researching the city, hotels, what to do. And especially if you're going during a busy season, it can tell you, hey, it's the busy season. Don't forget this. I would recommend doing this. I think start small and then work your way there to
Yep.
make your life easier.
That's actually a good example. Coming towards the end and looking ahead, what's next with Tri-Sphyre? You mentioned already a couple of things. Do you have more in mind?
Yeah, so definitely the dredging industry it's our key focus to help our customers fully automate their dredge operations within the next year or two. And we believe this has huge potential, right, to improve safety, efficiency, and reliability in this space. And our idea is to have them remote in and just see what's going on the dredge. And then beyond that, we're continuing to grow our technical support and system integrations offerings to continue meeting the needs of our clients and just helping modernize their systems in the best way for them.
Very good. Finally, how can listeners connect to you?
Either going to our booth at the SPS event
Mhm.
929 or directly through LinkedIn. I'm always open to connecting with people and seeing how we can connect.
And we will put your LinkedIn profile down in the show notes.
Yes.
Karen, thank you so much for joining the DigitalituM podcast at the intersection of manufacturing and digital transformation. And I guess we see each other in person at the SPS Atlanta, September 16 to 18 at the Georgia World Congress Center, right next to the Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Yes, I'm excited to see everyone there and to meet you there as well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.